Thriller TV shows have always been popular, but there's a batch of series that feature flawless quality in every single episode. We all love a good story that has an epic mystery, strong-willed characters, and plot twists that keep us on the edge of our seats. Thankfully, there never seems to be a shortage of thriller TV shows available. Recently, new seasons of hit thrillers, such as The Diplomat and Slow Horses, have been released, alongside brand new releases within the genre, including Untamed, The Asset, and Down Cemetery Road. That said, there's nothing worse than diving into a series and being disappointed by corny reveals, lackluster characters, or walking away without getting the resolution you hoped for. However, that's not the case with a handful of thriller shows. Whether you want a standout series in a beloved franchise or exciting Netflix shows, these series will deliver with each episode. Andor, 2022 to 2025, 24 episodes. While there are plenty of Star Wars TV shows to choose from, it can be argued that Andor is the best one thus far. It's a fantastic and unforgettable Rogue One prequel with a great performance from Diego Luna as Cassian Andor, the popular character he played in the 2016 movie. Over 2 perfect seasons, Andor tells a gripping story of the emerging Rebel Alliance and its battle against the Galactic Empire. With Andor taking place over several years, the slow burn adds a captivating aspect leading up to the events of Rogue One and A New Hope. Part spy story and part political commentary, Andor justifies its 96% Rotten Tomatoes rating. It might even make up for some of the more disappointing Star Wars outings in the past few years. In an age where we sometimes wonder if more Marvel or Star Wars TV series are even necessary, Andor proves that the medium of TV can work perfectly, as long as the story is worth it. If an excellent thriller needs to keep you guessing, that's exactly what this series does. Even better, it's an enjoyable ride even if you're not a fan of the franchise. The Sinner, 2017 to 2021, 32 episodes. The Sinner presented itself as a new kind of thriller when it premiered in 2017, and it delivered on that promise. Following Detective Harry Ambrose, Bill Pullman, the series reveals who committed the main murder at the start of each season before unveiling their reasoning and backstory. Thanks to this distinct structure, all 4 seasons of The Sinner are great. Season 1 got the most attention since it stars Jessica Biel as a mother named Cora Tanetti who commits a violent act during an otherwise peaceful beach day. The rest of the series' installments, however, are just as intriguing. Since each season paints a complete picture of each criminal, every season finale satisfyingly concludes the entry in focus. However, the rest of the show is still compelling, especially since it reveals more about Harry's childhood as time passes. A great thriller blends intriguing details about a crime with strong character development, and The Sinner excels in both of these areas. Mayor of Easttown, 2021, 7 episodes. Mayor of Easttown is an incredible character study of Mayor Sheehan, Kate Winslet, with 7 episodes of equal quality. The premiere, Miss Lady Hawk herself, shares Mayor's small-town life, which is notably full of pain. The brutal murder at the end of the debut episode then becomes the focal point of the next 6 episodes. While each part of the story matters, episode 6, Illusions, is particularly important. Mayor not only puts more pieces of the case together, which proves her intelligence, but she also has a meaningful moment with her mom, something Winslet's character has been hoping for. Although it follows the typical thriller beats one would expect for this genre, from the continual introduction of new clues to big reveals that present characters in a new light, Mayor of Easttown is all about Winslet's performance. Mayor's theories and ideas are so enticing that you won't be able to get enough of the character. Mayor of Easttown's ending not only uncovers who committed the murder, but it also reveals the next part of Mayor's emotional journey. Without this resolution, the miniseries would still be gripping, but it wouldn't feel complete. Wayward, 2025, 8 episodes. Despite only having 78% on Rotten Tomatoes, Netflix's Wayward is an incredible thriller about growing up, generational trauma, love, and confidence. Mae Martin, who also created the show, stars as Alex Dempsey, a police officer who is immediately unsure about their decision to move to Tall Pines with their pregnant wife, Laura Redman, Sarah Gadon. A lesser thriller would only focus on Alex and Laura, but the series also depicts the strong friendship between rebellious teenagers Abby, Sydney Topliff, and Layla, Alyssa Allen Lind. From the first episode, which introduces Alex and Laura's new life in Tall Pines, to the finale, which adds a shocking twist that could lead into Season 2, Wayward is flawless. All the plot lines come together nicely at the end. Tall Pines is a perfectly creepy setting that rivals any horror movie location. However, since Wayward explores the troubled teen industry of disturbing high schools, this makes the story feel more real than most thrillers. The episodes definitely veer into odd territory, from the toads to some rituals, but the series is also about something important. Toni Collette is also amazing as the show's main villain, Evelyn Wade, who comes up with some sinister ways to help the teenagers heal at Tall Pines Academy. 2018 to 2025, 50 episodes. The Netflix thriller You doesn't have a bad episode, and each season maintains its singular tone while still managing to feel completely different. It's rare for every episode of a thriller to be great, but you'll love every minute of the story of serial killer Joe Goldberg, Penn Badgley. Since every season of You focuses on Joe's new love interest, viewers will never get bored with the story. Although it's hard to say that Love Quinn, Victoria Pedretti, is as likable as the others, considering her dark and violent nature, she's a fascinating, dynamic character. You arguably becomes the most compelling in the fifth and final season since Joe marries Kate Lockwood, Charlotte Ritchie, who knows about his crimes. However, the series still has a few surprises in store, and when Kate realizes her mistake, the story becomes even more gripping. While the series has a few corny and melodramatic moments, that doesn't take away from its overall quality. Whether you're watching the pilot episode or the series finale, viewers will be holding their breath, wondering if or when Joe will get caught. Even though some didn't agree with the events of the You series finale, the show ends at exactly the right moment. Mindhunter, 2017 to 2019, 19 episodes. Every fan would love nothing more than the chance to watch a third season, but at the same time, we can all agree that Mindhunter's 2 seasons are flawless. Featuring a timeline starting in 1977 and ending in 1981, seasons 1 and 2 depict detectives at the Behavioral Science Unit of the FBI. In contrast to most crime dramas or thrillers, which follow one detective solving one case and sharing details about the criminal in the final episode, Mindhunter is all about getting inside the heads of these killers. Some actual killers are fictionalized here, including Charles Manson, Damon Herriman, David Berkowitz, Oliver Cooper, and Dennis Rader, BTK, Sonny Valicenti. What's more, Mindhunter brings up important topics, like criminal profiling, the longer